What is up, everybody? We're here again with another episode of the Good Time Podcast. I'm Anthony. This is Joe. Before we get going here, Joe's been on tour. He's been traveling. I've been at home, but it's difficult to keep a podcast going when we're both in different places. So we're doing our best. We backlogged a few episodes. We've been keeping on track, releasing every Monday. We are recording this one on Monday, April 6th. It's going to come out today. It's just going to be later than usual, and we'll be back on schedule. Before we go do anything else, though, go to Spotify, leave a 5-star review. Leave any comments. Make sure, as you're listening to the episode, if you have any questions about anything to do with drums or touring or this podcast or any of our guests, leave a comment on the YouTube to ask us what to talk about. And we're going to do it because we're actually going to do that right now and talk about some stuff that people have commented about. So first things first, Joe got home last night from a tour. Joe, how long were you out?
Dude, I'm so happy to be home right now. I was gone for 4 weeks, and it was a long 4 weeks, bro. I'm not going to lie. My shoulder, too, a lot of people know that follow me. I have this problem going on with my shoulder, and it's just been like an up and down roller coaster in that regard. But, man, getting home is so great.
What's going on with your shoulder? Where on your shoulder does it hurt?
I have like a partial tear. It's not fully torn.
Like in your rotator cuff?
Yeah, it's in the rotator cuff. It hurts, dude. It goes like up my neck, down my arm.
Yeah.
Like I have the mobility. I can reach and I can lift up, but sometimes
it's one of those things where if you kind of swing in the wrong direction or move in the wrong direction, it sort of like has a twang to it and just stings for a second.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had rotator cuff issues over the years. Some of it I think was from like CrossFit or like working out too much. I think maybe bad push-up form when I was doing a lot of push-ups. But I've had both my rotator cuffs be pretty jacked up at different times, and it sucks.
What have you done what do you do about it?
Dude, the only thing for me, at least, that worked was just stretching and rest. Like, you just have to not use it. It's just one of those things. You got to give it like 3 weeks and just don't even think about using it. Maybe even 4 weeks. And then stretching. I can't think of really anything else, unfortunately. Nothing that I did move the needle. So
you never got like cortisone shots or all that?
Never did it, but I thought about it. Also, like, I know a lot of people are using peptides these days. I've thought about that because I've been having hip issues with my left hip, and I'm like, do I need to get some peptides and inject that shit into my leg at home? Maybe. I don't know.
I've heard of this peptides too, and I've heard stem cells, and I don't know much about them, but
I don't either. It seems it's like it's something that like rich people have access to and athletes, and then normal people like us are like, oh, like people are figuring out how to sell it and use it and stuff like that. So I really don't know much. That's why I haven't gone and bought a syringe and a vial, and because I'm just like, I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I'm still doing a little bit of research on it. But yeah, as far as the rotator cuff goes, you just got to rest it. It's just,
dude, it's the most important. I've realized your shoulders are the most important joint for playing drums, but
it's
by
super
far
important. Yeah, super important to take care of them. What the hell were we talking about before?
Well, I just kind of went off on just like my main takeaway. Like that was like my
openers.
Yeah, like that's the first thing I thought about when I came home. I was just like, I'm grateful because I'm not like a crazy rock star. I'm not in a crazy big band, but I'm in a big enough band where these other people under just look up, and you got to remember that so you can stay grateful. You know, it's easy to lose track of it.
You have to, and a lot of those bands, people who are listening to this podcast might be in those bands or might have been in those bands in the past. And dude, I am so grateful for the years I had to hustle pre-sales to my friends and stuff, because a lot of times how that works is like a band like Dropout Kings is coming through. Was Dropout Kings headlining?
No, it was a Ritz. He's a rapper, so it was like a rap tour. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say Ritz is headlining. The local promoters in every city reach out to the kind of the bands that fit the bill, the local bands that fit the bill, and they go, hey, if you can sell 40 pre-sales or 30 pre-sales or something, like we'll let you open this show for 25 minutes, which is what I've done. I can't tell you how many times I had to do that back in Seattle in like 2011, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and even maybe 16. There's probably at least 5 years of maybe 6 years of hustling pre-sales. And this was before Venmo, which sucked. Like, I think Cash App came out like toward the end of that, but dude, I would literally be driving around the city, like handing people physical tickets. There's probably way better ways to do it now. Like, you can probably do everything online and stuff and have people Venmo you. But yeah, back then it was brutal. And I remember hustling $8 tickets, $10 tickets, $12, $11, $15, $20. And the idea was that you prove to the promoter that you're worth something, like, because technically you're worth 0 tickets, because or maybe your local band draws 3 or 4 people, but like if you can go out and convince 20 or 30 people to show up, now you're worth something to the promoter.
We used to buy the rest of. We used to buy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You have to. If you're a smart local band, you'll do your best. They'll give you. Let's say they give you 40. You do your best to sell 25, and then you buy the last 15 and you just give them out or don't use them. And those people don't even show up, because it's smart business to just keep the promoter happy so that you can continue to open those shows. But back to what you were saying about, like, it's just another day on tour for you. I mean, I remember selling pre-sales to open for Black Veil Brides at a venue called Studio 7 in Seattle. And I didn't know any of the guys, and it's crazy because I just toured Australia with them a year ago. So it's like, now I've gotten to know the guys a little bit, and we should have Cece on the podcast, actually. Cece's rad, but I remember the stage was so small, and I told Cece this story when I met him, finally became homies with him, but like his riser was so big because he has this big double kick kit with like probably a rack and stuff, that I remember having to set my kit up in the like downstage left corner. It was just like so far in the corner at the very front of the stage, almost falling off the stage. And I was like, well, at least Black Veil Brides is going to watch our set tonight. And then
right.
Yeah, no,
Of course.
They stayed in their bus. The green room at that venue sucks. That venue doesn't even exist anymore, but the dressing room is terrible. So they just stayed in their bus, obviously didn't watch our dumb set. And in those moments, all you can do is hope that you're a good enough band that they're like, oh shit, this band kind of rips. This actually happened to Daughtry a couple weeks ago. I flew to Minneapolis to play at one show, and we had an opener, and they were awesome. And like, I was warming up and stuff, but I went out and watched a few songs, and like I met everybody, and they were like super badass, and it was like really cool. And they're actually coming on the Creed cruise in a couple weeks that I'm going on. So like they'll be on that. They're not like a small local band, but they're definitely like a up and coming band or whatever. But whenever they're really good, all 5 of us were like, yo, this opener is sick. Let's go out there and watch them. But it's not always like that. It's not always like that. So
I was going to ask if like Daughtry, if you guys ever like run into that, because a lot of times you're on a full like arena tour with other big bands, but every once in a while you guys will do like you guys will headline like a casino venue or something, right?
Yeah, the local opener thing doesn't happen at the arena level, or really even like the theater or big club level, but it does happen. The local opener thing is really it's for tours that don't sell every venue out. That's really like the honest answer to that. And I've been on those tours. I've been on a bunch of those tours. So I've been on tours like what you're describing, where yeah, there's just locals in every city, and you're sort of just like, okay, this is a part of the thing. But if the headliner is selling all the shows out, then what's the point of a local opener? There's just no point. It's like, it doesn't do anything. It just costs the promoter more time and headache and money and messes the schedule up. So
local openers are perfect for a band like my band, because they really help. They're doing a lot of the work bringing people, especially if it's a popular band.
Yeah, there was a tour that the Ghost Inside, man, this is a crazy one. Man, we gotta have him on too. Damn, we have so many guests to bring on the podcast, but we got to bring Andrew on to talk about the bus crash and everything. Do you know about the famous Ghost Inside bus crash?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So
We got to
they
bring
had
him
a
on. That's crazy.
we will absolutely bring him on, but there was a tour, I think it was 2015 or 14. They called it the locals only tour. They didn't bring out openers at all. They just had locals in every single city, which I thought was such a cool idea. And at the time, I was living in Seattle, and I went to the El Corazon show, which you just played recently.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, wow, Ghost Inside rocks. This was a great show, whatever. And like 5 days later, they got in that accident.
Damn.
But that entire tour was just only local openers. They didn't bring anybody on tour with them.
That's so cool. I love when bands do shit like that. Like even like All American Rejects. Remember last year they just went and played house parties all year.
Bunch of house parties. Yeah.
Like that's
Fire.
a genius marketing plan and same with,
Fire
like,
marketing.
Yeah, straight up. Even that like
You're
the
just
local
losing
only-
money. You're losing money. You're bringing out a crew. They had their whole
Yeah.
crew. Like
Yeah.
you're not spending money on production, which is like a massive cost, and they probably set up a merch tent or something. So they probably like broke even or like maybe lost a little bit of money, but that's not a money maker, obviously. So it's like, yeah,
It was a
man, just
marketing
cool.
expense, right?
Marketing expense, yeah. Macklemore did one actually, way like well after Macklemore really blew up. He did a like a camper van tour and played like tiny little venues all throughout the Northwest, like random little venues. I forgot what he called the tour, but I think that stuff's cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It,
Yeah.
it just reminds you like where you come from. You know, like when I see these bands, I see the kid. It was a lot of rappers on this tour, but they're like so stoked. And
yeah.
every time I hear him talking about it, it brings me right back. I'm like, damn, I remember that. I remember being in that local
remember-
band. Like Attila's coming into
Yeah.
town. We're playing for Attila, or,
Yeah.
or whoever.
I know I did all that stuff too, man. I remember being so excited for those shows because you're so used to playing to nobody that you're like, okay, maybe we'll play to El Corazon 3/4 of the way sold out, which is like 600 people or 500 people or something. It's like, I can't believe we get to play to 500 people. That's so many more people than our average 50 to 80 person show that we're used to playing or whatever. So if you're in a local band and you're on that hustle, I get it. Joe gets it. We've both been there. We both pushed through that. It takes a lot of years. Don't give up. You're gonna watch all your friends give up.
There's no
because
shortcuts
eventually,
either.
it's nothing about it is glamorous. It's incredibly frustrating. You spend hours and hours and hours hustling a bunch of pre-sales to go drive your drums down to a venue, to go pay for parking, to play a 25-minute set, and then have local stagehands just like throw your gear out onto a sidewalk, and you have to put it back to pack it all up, like sometimes in the rain and shit. It's just like,
Terrible,
man,
dude.
I've been there so many. You can picture El Corazon. That was really that was my stomping grounds, and there's a bridge right there that. It's a rough area, man. It's
In fact, it was raining the other day when I packed out my drum kit outside out that door.
Yep.
I was like,
yep.
yeah, I'm still
I
here.
can
Keep
picture
doing it.
that. I can picture that door like it was yesterday, man. I've had my drums go in and out of that door so many times, and so kind of on this topic of like the differences between touring. So we're gonna kind of go over the differences between how Joe and I are touring. This is not to like knock anything. This is not to like be braggadocious at all about what I'm like the situation I'm in. This is just to kind of give a really honest assessment of like the differences between how different camps tour and how different levels of touring work, because dude, it's a lot of differences. So for example, let's start with this one. You're touring in a van. Okay. Who is driving this time for you?
This time we had a designated driver, so we hired a guy.
Was he doing anything else? Or
Yeah,
was
he did
just
everything,
driving?
dude. He helped me set up my drums and he did merch too. It was,
Money.
dude, it was honestly, in terms of like having help and having a crew, this was the best tour ever with Dropout Kings because of Josh. I got to shout out the homie Josh. He's a beast, dude. He drove us and he just was there every day helping.
So awesome. So that guy Josh, does he have like very much touring experience or just a little bit, just trying to get into it?
Very little. He did like a couple like week long tour type things, but
Perfect. So guys like that, I've seen guys like that in my career. If those guys want careers in music and they keep pushing, they can end up making a lot of money touring. Because if you're willing to wear a lot of hats and be not paid enough money to do what you're doing, and to do that for many tours in a row, you can then get to the point where like it depends on the different different sizes of bands, but like one of the bands that always comes to my head is Fit for a King. Fit for a King, I toured with them. Damn, it's already been almost 2 years, but summer of 24, I toured with Fit for a King, and they had a utility guy who basically did like drums, guitars, like playback. He was doing like 3, 4 different things, maybe stage managing too. He had too many things to do all the time, but my understanding is that he was paid really well, and you know what, the guy was working his ass off and he deserved it. And it's just a band that size, like they can't afford to have a massive crew, so you have to kind of like kill a few birds with one stone. And that's a really cool way to do it. And so then like on the van touring level, when you can have somebody who wants to like be the jack of all trades and just kind of help around and not be like, no, I'm here to just do merch and that's all I'm going to do. Or like, I'm only here to drive. You just can't survive like that. You have to like be willing to do more. So, and also I think it's really cool that you got help with the drums too, because a lot of times drums get help last, which makes no sense to me. It's
no
like
sense at all.
I've seen guys get guitar techs before, like the drummer gets a drum tech, and it's like, hold up.
My band was talking
Yo.
about needing a sound guy. Like I was like, dog, nah, we need a tech. First and foremost.
And if you are gonna like, front of house would be great to tour with, but they better set up your playback rig, run your monitors, and potentially even do something else. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not a bad idea. It's just they got to do more than just front of house. You can't have an event tour. You can't have a solo front of house guy. I mean, you could. You're kind of burning. They got to do something else at that level.
And that's why it's interesting, because like we have one guy now. You know, when you tour, you guys have a person for everything, whereas I just have Josh.
That's exactly right. So like, you're touring in van, you're playing small clubs, you're still grinding, you're trying to build your band, and then you have like a multi-platinum like successful rock band like Daughtry. Daughtry has like two tour buses, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have 2 buses. So it's like,
Oh, wow.
we have a band bus and a crew bus. In the crew bus, you have guitar tech, drum tech, stage manager, front of house, a dedicated monitor engineer. So there's a guy whose entire job is like monitoring in-ear monitors, stage wedges, and anything in between. We don't run any wedges on stage, so we don't use that. But his whole job is dealing with our in-ear monitors and making sure that we're all happy. He cleans our in-ear monitors for us. Like,
Wow. Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's
It's
pro
crazy.
level. That's
Yeah.
like what a drummer's dream, or just a musician's dream, to have all that stuff handled.
It's a total dream, and I think that you don't appreciate it unless you've like really gone through it yourself and done it like the way you're doing it. Because there's going to be a day when you have a dedicated drum tech, and you're just going to go, wait, what? All I have to do is like show up to meet and greet and then play the show. It's it's a different thing. But I will say this: if you are trying to replicate a really high level show over and over and over again, to do it 100 to 130 times in a calendar year, you have to do it. If you're trying to do it on a grand scale and replicate it over and over and over again, you have to invest in a really solid crew, because our crew is so dialed in. I wish, like, I want to bring some of them on this podcast for real. Well, we should bring we're going to bring some of them on to talk about what they do, because people need to know what a production manager does every day, what a stage manager does every day. Like, these are jobs that like most people don't even know exist. But
That are so important. That are literally the glue.
yeah, the glue. When you're dealing with multiple buses, semi trucks, gear moving from A to B. Speaking of A to B, so on this tour, for example, that you just went on, were you sharing a drum kit, or were you using? What was the drum kit situation?
And I was using mine every day, and
Okay. Did
every
anybody else use it?
no, it was all rappers though too. You know, like we were the only. I think one night there was another band, and he had his own drum kit.
Perfect.
So
Okay. So, for example, we have an A and a B rig. That means we have two full rigs. Like,
two
and there's
complete drum
bands.
kits, different parts of the
Yeah.
world, kind of thing.
They're they're stored in the same place, but the function of it is that the best example I always give people is last year when we toured with Disturbed, we finished the tour in Vegas, Las Vegas, and then the following day played Welcome to Rockville, which is in Daytona Beach, Florida. So we had to fly overnight to Daytona Beach. That's already a bitch of a flight because it just is. If you're flying commercial, it's a layover. But the reason you need a B rig to be able to actually play shows like that is that your gear cannot possibly drive in a semi truck from Las Vegas to Daytona Beach overnight. It's impossible. And you can't fly. It probably maybe you can in like some sort of crazy, flying shipping service, but to fly all that gear over there is probably like $100,000 or something. Who knows? Yeah. So you have a B rig that shows up there. It's being scheduled. So like this is what production managers do. They make sure the gear is like doing this. And so while we're getting ready to play the final show in Vegas, they've already made sure that our B rig has arrived in Daytona Beach, Florida, so that when we land in Florida, our crew goes straight to the venue, builds the rig. I always have so much respect for crew, man. I just like anybody who's out there on the road, like building a stage, putting the show together and getting zero credit for it. I just like, I have so much respect for those jobs. It's just, those are really tough jobs, man. And those are the types of days where I'm just like extra grateful. Cause I'm like, damn, we've been on tour for 6 weeks. Everybody's burnt out. We have to fly overnight. Nobody's going to sleep. And then you have to go straight to a venue at a NASCAR track in 92 degrees and humidity, and then build a new rig that you haven't touched in weeks. And you have to pull it out of its cases and build it and make sure it's all good to go just in time for us to play at like 5 o'clock, like an earlier set time, not like the normal 8 o'clock or whatever, 7:50. It's like, now we're playing at like 4:30 today or whatever, 4:45, whatever the time was. And you got to get this shit so dialed in that I can walk onto stage, no sound check, and nothing's going to fall apart.
They're beasts, bro.
They're beasts.
You have all different, so you have two rigs now. So what if he has to order, like, do you have a bunch of drum heads and cymbals there on your B rig too? Like spare?
Correct. Yeah. So
Okay.
at the time of this exact situation I'm describing, that was my first tour with the band. So we were still kind of like building the B rig. So my drum tech, Andrew, actually had to bring cymbals and a snare drum and stuff like that. But now, fast forward to today, we've like built out the B rig a bit more. So we have a full cymbal rig for that. We have everything. I think the only thing at this point, if we were to do a B rig show, is Andrew might have to fly with my snare drum. I think that's the only thing, because I have the Reference One brass. It's like a $1,600 snare drum. I haven't had the balls to ask Pearl for another one yet. So they've helped me out a lot, and I do need another one of those though. So
What's the other snare that you use?
I have a few out on the road. I have the Ultracast, which is aluminum. I have two of those. So both rigs, the A rig and the B rig, each have an Ultracast aluminum as a backup, which in an ideal world, your backup snare would be identical to your main snare. Sure. It's pretty stupid to have a different snare drum, but the thing is, like I was saying, that snare drum is $1,600. It's like, are we really gonna get 4 of them? It's kind of like, yeah, for 2 of them to sit in a case 99.9% of the time. Because that's the other thing, is that Andrew and I I've always had a foolproof rig because I've done so many tours teching myself that over the years, I had basically built up a rig that was foolproof. Foolproof in the sense of like, something real bad's gonna have to happen if we're gonna have to go to the backup kick pedal or the backup snare. So like on a snare drum, what do you think? What usually do you think breaks on a snare drum that you have to go to the backup?
For me, it's the bottom head like blows out. I don't know, but what about you?
Yeah, bottom head could blow out. It could be the snare wire, the strap that holds the snare wires up. If you use string, that string can break. That's why I recommend everybody uses grosgrain ribbon. Like grosgrain ribbon makes the best snare strap because it doesn't tear when it gets like, it's really strong. It's not going to tear. But like the string used to hold up snare wires, you know what I'm talking about? The two pieces of string.
Oh yeah, the little they're like blue. Yeah.
When it gets humid, those become weak and they can tear. And I've had those blow out during shows. I've had heads blow out, but it's a lot more rare these days. It hasn't happened to me in a very long time. So I guess what the point I'm trying to make is if you have a main snare that is like, has an amazing throw off, has grosgrain ribbon, and a head that's not super old on it, pretty unlikely that you're going to blow it out. Like for me, the most likely thing would happen is I blow a lug, actually. It's more likely that I'd blow a lug than something else fails.
Yeah.
And if that were to happen, we go to the backup snare. The backup snare is, even though it's a different material, it's tuned to the same note. So more or less, it's like the crowd's not really going to notice. No one's really going to notice. But like I said, in an ideal world, you'd just have 4 of the exact same snare. But that's just kind of a crazy ask.
No, but it's true. Like on this last tour, my snare blew out mid-song, and you could immediately tell when it goes because you're playing. You're like, "Whoa, what is that sound?" It just sounds. Yeah, yeah. So I swapped it out and I put on the other snare drum, completely different drum, all in all, completely different everything. And I was like, "Damn, that feels weird." Like it's very noticeably different.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it happened to me last year during the Creed tour. There was a
What broke? Was it the lug?
I did break a lug last year. I actually broke 2, I think. But what broke last year? I've smashed a few lugs. When the lugs crack, you do feel like a badass. You're like, damn, I actually broke the lug casing. But
and then your tension rod's dangling with the rock lock still on there.
Yeah. Well, that's a really good point. It's like, damn, the lug broke before the drum went out of tune. That goes to show how actually useful rock locks are. But like the last time I blew a head, it actually broke from the collar. So like you know how like there's that metal ring around the drum head?
Yeah,
it's separated from the metal ring. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a common one.
Which is, it happens from time to time. But what I was gonna say, I actually got it on video because I was like filming it. I had a drum cam going, and that during that show, I remember I was playing, and all of a sudden I was like, "Uh-oh, something's wrong." My snare just immediately sounded like I was hitting cardboard, and I just I looked down and I was like, I don't see anything with my eyes. I think the head broke off I think what I'm describing, because I've experienced it all at this point. So I was like, I think the collar broke off the head. And Andrew was sitting right behind me, and I was like, Andrew, back up. I was like playing, like looking down, like trying to get him to look at the snare because he could hear it in his ears too. Yeah. And there was a break in the song, like not a very long break, maybe like 6 or 7 seconds. And we somehow did the swap during that break mid-song.
Wait, is the mic clipped onto your rim? You have to do the mic too?
No, so I request that we do not have that. And that's one of those things that I hate mics clipped to my snare drum, bro.
Same, bro.
They're moving around, they're rattling around, they fall down. It's not an ideal way to do it.
Or when they clip one on the top and on the bottom, bro. No. Guy did that to me the other day, and I was like, "What are we doing here?" And that was the day my snare blew out, dude. Of course, I had a fucking bottom mic on there.
Yep. No, I hate that. I hate it. I want those on separate stands, ideally, or on like on the bottom, on the snare bottom. It could come off the snare stand, but like actually being clipped to the drum itself, no me gusta.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
But anyway, back to the different kind of touring levels. So you're in a van, You got somebody driving for you. When you're in a van, you're stopping at gas stations all the time. You see gas stations all day, every day. You're every few hours you're in another gas station, trying to find a place to take a piss, like asking for the door code, being like, damn, what do I eat today? Another thing of beef jerky and fucking trail mix and a Gatorade.
That's so true.
Yeah, and you just kind of, that's one thing. When you're in a bus, you're often asleep when the thing is rolling, which is like an incredibly big upgrade because you almost never see a gas station when you're in a bus. I mean, you do every once in a while. You'll like a lot sometimes, but they typically time their gas stops so that you're not awake when it's like they're not gonna get to a venue empty on gas so that like, oh, let's leave the venue and 45 minutes later we're stopping at a gas station. Like that doesn't happen. And so, but every once in a while, like when you're in Europe, there's different laws about how long the driver can drive. There's all kinds of crap. So, but generally speaking, you don't see many gas stations. And if you do, it's once in a blue moon. And you're kind of like, oh, like the old days, you hop off the bus. You're like, damn, let me go in there and get a snack.
I see a gas station more than pretty much anything. What are you seeing most of the time?
Dude, when you're in a tour bus, you don't see anything. That's the crazy part. You see nothing.
But like, is your hotel room, like, where are you spending? Are you on the bus most of the time?
Yeah. So like, let's say like the average, you're on tour, the average show you play, bus call is going to be somewhere between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's like very average. Obviously there's anomalies and things and different, sometimes you get off stage at 8:50 and bus calls at 9:30 because you got to get out of there and go somewhere. But the only reason that's even possible is because we have two buses. Our crew bus cannot possibly leave by 9:30 if we get off stage at 8:50. They need more than 40 minutes to like pack the semi truck, get everything put away. So their bus call might be 10:30 or something, right? If we're in a hurry to get somewhere. But yeah, typically it's like 11 to 2 a.m. ish, somewhere around there. That's bus call, meaning you got to be on the bus. Let's say it's midnight. You get on the bus. You're out hanging out with one of the other bands. You're having a few beers. You're like, all right, time to leave. You get on your bus at 11:45. The bus driver's on there. He's already started the bus. You're getting ready to roll, and then it's like you might feel the bus start rolling, and you're like, well, everyone's kind of already in bed, and I guess I'm gonna brush my teeth and crawl into my bunk. And there's no windows in the bunks, so you fall asleep. You wake up at the next venue, and you get out. And if you're touring, if you're doing amphitheaters or arenas or whatever, you just wake up in the parking lot of like the amphitheater or the arena, and you're just you get off and you come out to the front lounge. The bus is stopped, and you're like, the bus driver's gone, by the way, already. Like 90% of the time, I don't even see the bus driver. Like I'll say what's up right before going to bed. I'll be like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah.
How was your sleep? Because they're sleeping in the middle of the day.
Do they get hotels every day?
Yeah, so when they get to the venue, they typically go in and they'll eat breakfast because it's free, the catered breakfast. And then they'll either have the runner or an Uber take them to their hotel. And they chill in a hotel all day and do whatever they need to do and go to sleep. And then, like, let's say bus calls at midnight. They're typically at the bus at like 11 p.m. Just like, all right, they get back on the bus. They make themselves a coffee. They get the bus started, warmed up. They just make sure everything's good. They close the blinds in the front lounge. They just kind of like get the bus ready to roll again.
So when you, man, it's so interesting because like we're both out there touring and it's the same thing, but yeah, it's so different. When do you like get to a hotel? Like if you wake up, like take me through like a whole 24 hours, like 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. What did you do? When do you get to your hotel?
There's many days. Yeah, it's kind of a hybrid actually, because like there's many days where there's no hotel room, and this is why there's so many different levels to this, and like why this hopefully this is interesting to the listener, and I'm not just rambling here, but you have to just trust me on this. There's a million ways to do it. It's not like there isn't a one-stop shop because some bands are really frugal about hotels. Some bands, it just kind of depends where you are in your band's, timeline. It's like if you just got to the point of renting buses, you probably get very few hotel rooms because you're like, why blow money on hotel rooms when we have a bus here we can sleep in? maybe we'll get one hotel so that we can all go shower, and we'll just leave it at that. Or sometimes we'll get two hotel. They call those day rooms. Like, all right, guys, we have a day off in Omaha, Nebraska. There's nothing to do. Instead of getting, your first bus is going to have 12 bunks. You're going to have merch. You're going to have a minimal crew. You're going to have a tour manager. Instead of getting, let's say it's full. Instead of getting 12 rooms, let's get 2 or 3 day rooms and let people use them intermittently. All right, you guys go shower. You guys go shower. You can hang out there. You can kind of spread out. You can get some work done on your laptop. But then everybody needs to be back on the bus at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning because we got to go to the venue or whatever. So in our case, we all get our own hotel rooms. So like, let's say there's a day off. So like, let's say we play a show in LA today, right? Let's just run through a couple days of fake touring.
Yeah.
Let's say I woke up at the Forum today in LA. Okay. I woke up, let's say it's 9 a.m. I'd wake up. Typically, unless you're the headliner, you're not allowed to eat breakfast in the venue. It kind of depends on the tour you're on, but unless you're the headliner, you're typically not allowed to eat breakfast. It's saved for truck drivers, bus drivers, the headliner crew, just because it's a lot of people in there in the morning. And a lot of times the headliner will say, hey, you're not allowed in the venue until 11 a.m. Okay, no problem. Well, so let's say I wake up at 9. Me and Elvio, Elvio's usually up early. Hey, let's go walk and get some coffee. So like we'll go walk and get some coffee. We'll kill some time. All right, it's 11 a.m. We can enter the venue. We will bring our stuff into the venue, our backpacks and stuff, our show clothes. And by then, our green room has already been set up. Our dressing room has been like completely set up by our team to make sure that like it's all good to go.
You have a practice kit in there?
Depends on the tour, but yeah, it's sometimes sometimes like just a little pad and a Zildjian reflex pad, and then like one of those practice kick pads.
Sure.
I actually have the Tama one. It's the best one I've ever used. It's like $200, but it's the best one I've ever used. Okay, let's set our stuff down. All right, lunch is open. Like lunch opened at 11 o'clock. It's open 11 to 2. Let's go get some lunch. We get some lunch. Sound check. Let's say sound checks at 3 o'clock. Meet and greets at 4:30. Show, you go, you take a nap, you chill. Show's at 7:50. So that means at 6:50, I'm putting on my show clothes. I'm stretching. I'm warming up. About an hour before showtime, they call that the hour of power. And you basically, it's just 1 hour before the show. You kind of get in this routine of like an hour before the show, you begin your pre-show duties, so to speak. And that's different for everybody. Some people don't do anything. Some people drink 19 beers. Like for me, it's like stretching and warming up, just getting mentally prepared to go play drums in front of a bunch of people. And then play the show, and then let's say bus calls midnight, and let's say tomorrow we have a day off in Sacramento. Okay? So here's what tonight would look like. Got to be on the bus at midnight. I'd wake up in Sacramento at roughly 9 a.m. Our tour manager would go in, make sure our hotel, they call ahead of time. Like they're so good at what they do, our team. They make sure that, our hotel keys are ready. We show up, we get our hotel keys, and we stay in our hotel all day, or we have the hotel for the day. And let's say the following day, let's say not tomorrow, but the following day, we're playing in Sacramento. We would wake up, so we'd have a full day off in Sacramento with a hotel room. We'd sleep that night. And then the following day, the actual show day, instead of it being like going to the venue at 9 a.m., we don't need to be there that early. We might go to the venue at like 1 p.m. Like the tour manager will ask for late checkout, like let's say it's 1 or 2 p.m. so that we can stay in our hotel room longer, and then we get like a Sprinter, or sometimes the bus picks us up, or whatever, Uber, get to the venue at like 2 o'clock. Same deal, lunch, sound check, meet and greet, show, rinse and repeat. So it's awesome. I mean, touring is still hard. Even when it's really comfortable and stuff like that, like it's still tough. It's tough to be away from home for so long and everything. But, I've worked really, really, really hard to get this far, and I've sacrificed everything. And it's just, you can't. I don't take any of it for granted, man. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the team, the just everything, and maybe this is giving away a little bit too much of the sauce. I don't know, but I'm just trying to give people like a. This is not normal. Like most people touring, you spend. I did. You spend years and years and years grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding and not getting hotel rooms and not getting comfortable things and not getting catering. And that's another thing. You don't have catering on your tours, I'm assuming, right? Were there any venues that provided food?
No, but we did get buyouts every day. So like we got
Right.
money every day for food.
Yep. You get buyouts so that if you're not getting catering, they'll typically throw you a couple bucks to maybe $20 each or $30 each to,
Literally. It's exactly
yeah.
what it
So,
is. 20,
yeah, so
30
you
bucks a
get,
day.
yep. To give you enough money to go get some food.
So where do you mostly shower? At the venue, right? Because those arenas have like full on showers.
Yeah, so I always shower after every show. I don't care how bad the shower is. So
Yeah, you
I shower
showed
at
me
the
that one
venue.
shower. You got
Oh yeah,
kept
yeah,
filling up with water and it was like cold.
yeah. God, it was brutal. Yeah, because I sweat through my clothes and drums are sweaty. I will shower after every show. The handful of times we get to go to a hotel after a show, it's really nice. Like when you do those
Yeah.
casinos, for example, it's like right after you get off stage, you can kind of just go to your hotel room, and that's a really nice thing to be able to do that. But generally speaking, shower at the venue and then hop into the bus. I keep my bunk really clean. I can't remember the last time I got into my bus bunk, without showering. I mean, I've done it before many times. Like I said, when I first started touring in buses, I didn't have a drum tech and the tours were a lot gnarlier. There's just days where you don't have a chance. Like if you get off stage and everyone's like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, and you have to like pack all your stuff away because you don't have a drum tech, and then you gotta go and there's no choice, and you just have to get on the bus, and it's still better than no bus. I'd still take a bus without showering over no bus with a shower. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
No, we just started getting hotel. I mean, we've been doing the hotel thing for a bit now, but yeah,
Do you share them? It's like two guys to a room or three guys to a room or whatever.
no, we've been getting one room. We get one room with two
Oh, you
queens
just
and a couch
Yep.
pull out.
Perfect.
And sometimes there's
You do
three
anything?
queens in there, and there's five of
Yeah.
us total. So
I don't know if you
yeah,
figured out this hack yet, but one thing we used to do back when I used to share, because that's how it goes. You go from sleeping in the van to
sharing a bed.
sharing a bed to then sharing a room to then getting your own room. But the sharing the
It
bed
goes right up.
days, it goes right up. Yeah, 1 7. The sharing the bed days, we figured out pretty quickly to this is so stupid. Okay, one person sleeps on, you ask for extra blankets, or you like pull the extra blankets out of the closet if you can find them. But usually if you just ask for extra like just one extra comforter or one extra blanket. I sleep real hot, so like I would just always be like, hey bro, you go under the covers, I sleep above the covers, and then I'll just use a second blanket. So one
Yeah.
guy's under, one guy's over, so you're not touching skin in the night.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
Not
of
that
course,
there's anything
dude.
wrong with that. It's just like I don't want to feel your leg hairs and shit on
No,
my
of
leg
course not.
hairs.
No,
So-
we make a barrier with pillows. That's what we
oh,
do.
there you go. Okay, that works.
Yeah, like because the bed will have four pillows on there, and you take two
Yeah.
and you put them in the middle, and you just bunch them up, and then you each get one pillow. I don't
Money.
feel I bunk with Bill, and he's like real skinny and small. He doesn't move, and
Perfect.
it's like yeah, it's perfect.
Perfect.
But ideal situation. Every once in a while too on tour, dude, I just fuck off and get my own room because I'm on tour for 3 weeks. 3 weeks in, I'm like I got to get away from everyone. It's not anyone
done that.
individually. It's just we all experience. You know.
I've been there, bro, and it's the best $100 you'll ever spend. It's just like, damn,
It's still worth
I gotta
it every
go.
time.
Yeah, I gotta go. I just need to be alone for a day. Like everybody, leave me alone. I need to just
Yep.
like shower. I need to like just not talk to anybody or see anybody or hear anybody snoring.
it's it's brutal. Yeah,
But-
it's funny
but
the
yeah,
different
man.
levels, man.
There's a lot of different levels, and then yeah, you keep going up. It's like the hotels get nicer. The you start flying first class. You start flying private. You
Make more
you
money.
have hotels. You make more money. Yeah, a lot. I know bands that tour and they get hotels every single night, no matter if they even use them or not. I know bands that don't even touch their hotels half the time. They're just, it's on autopilot. Like, book another round of hotels. Because if you think about it, let's say there's 4 people in a band, and let's say the hotel rooms are $250 a night. That's an extra $1,000. When you're moving around tens of millions of dollars, it's like, okay, $1,000 a day for hotels. That's just a part of the budget.
Nothing.
It's not smart. I don't think it's smart. I wouldn't, even if I had $1 billion, I wouldn't be booking empty hotel rooms. Like, it seems to me that's it's so stupid. Wasting money. But I do see bands do that, and it's like, teach their own, you know? I mean, yeah, man. All this to be said, touring is difficult. No matter how you slice it, it's still being away from home. It's gotten easier for me the further along I've gotten in my career, just because now it's all about the show. But because you're expected to perform at an extremely high level every night. There's no like nights off. So it's not like you can't take it for granted. You have to go, okay, I'm very lucky to have made it this far. I'm very lucky to have all these like amenities to make it a little bit easier for me, catering, a hotel room to sleep in. But that being said, I need to eat right and sleep right, because I need to play really well so I can keep this job and so that I can, continue to grow in my career. And it's like, you can't just, the second things get a little easier, you can't take your foot off the gas and go, oh, well, now I don't have to do anything. And lobby call tomorrow is at 1:00. Let me sleep till 12:45. And then like, you can't get sloppy. Like, you still gotta be locked in. So
dude, I fucking admire that so much, bro. That's what I strive to be. Like, when I'm on tour, I'm thinking about performing at my best. It's about the show for me, no matter what level I'm at. That's why I'm there. I'm there to
100%
perform. I'm not there to party and socialize and none of that shit. I want to get in. I want to rip it. I want to get out of there, and I want to try to feel as best I can. So it's really dope to see just you. I mean, even when we first met, you were in a pretty poppin' band, but there's always like places to go up in it.
So cool. Yeah, there's so much growth to be had, and you know, I think for me, I always come back to like, I fell in love with the craft of drums. I'm still in love with the craft of drums. I'm doing a double bass like masterclass right now. I bought Matt Greiner's double bass masterclass, and I've been working on that, and it's like, I mean, I'm talking about it here, but I'm not like posting about it every day. Like, nobody knows I'm doing this. It's just, I'm just trying to get better all the time. Like, I spend a lot of time in my practice space that nobody sees it. And every great drummer does that. It's like, so to me, I'm in love with the craft. And I would feel like I was cheating myself, and I was cheating drums and cheating the system if I was just phoning it in because things got easier. It's like, dude, no, I want to be as good as I possibly can be. I don't want to be a scrub. I don't want to lose all the stuff that I've worked for. Like, I'm just very happy with where I'm at, with like where things are. For the first time ever, I'm like happy with where things are at. Just because I feel like I'm at a place where it's like, okay, touring isn't just completely brutal. When you're in a van sharing hotel rooms, it is brutal, bro. I like the fact that you're doing a podcast the day after you got home from a 4-week run like that. You're probably fried right now. I know that feeling.
Yeah,
you know, like, dude, I want to do nothing. I want to sit around and do absolutely nothing and just like eat. And just like, you know,
firsthand. It actually it helped me to jump right back into it though, and especially talking to someone like you who's like literally knows exactly. I don't gotta explain nothing to you like when I'm telling my mom or whatever about it. Like, you just get it. So it's cool.
Yeah.
It's
So
cool
let's talk about our gear real quick, and then we'll call it a podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll save the other stuff. We had some other stuff to talk about. We'll save it for another episode. But basically, people have asked us in the comments about our gear, and like, basically, like, how did you kind of go through the phases growing up? And then someone even asked, like, at what point do you get a drum tech? So let's just go over this really quickly. But as a kid, I started out like everybody else, beginner level stuff. And the way I explain it to people now is that I just basically learned everything the hard way. I didn't have people telling me what to get, and this was also pre-Instagram, pre-TikTok. Like I couldn't super easily get information on gear, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I remember being a kid and I loved Lamb of God, right? And I was like, okay, well, he plays Meinl, so I'm just gonna get a bunch of Meinl cymbals. I don't really care what they are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then I love Joey Jordison. He played Paiste, and it was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna get a bunch of Paistes. I don't really care what they are. Like Joey plays Paiste, I play Paiste.
Yep.
Pearl drums. I want a Pearl drum kit. I don't care what it is. I just want a Pearl drum kit. That's kind of what my barometer was. I feel like now, if you're like 14 years old today, you could just be like, is a Pearl export better than a Pearl Masters? It's like you can kind of like figure stuff out way faster, and maybe you'll like put two and two together and go like, should I get the really budget stuff, or should I like invest in better gear? There's an old saying, buy nice or buy twice. I am all about that when it comes to drum gear. Even if you're brand new, we've talked about it on a different episode, but it's like, just invest in some decent gear, because decent gear holds its value. Budget gear does not hold its value at all. It just doesn't.
100%.
Like you buy a budget cymbal for $100, it sounds like shit, and then if you wanted to resell it, you might get $20 for it.
Yeah.
Versus, it just
good.
doesn't same thing
A
goes with
custom
like a
is
custom.
different.
If you buy an A custom for $250 or whatever, and then you don't really sell, a lot of people don't really sell cymbals, but let's say you were to sell the cymbal, you could probably get $200 for it or $220 for it. Like it's not going to lose a ton of value. But to the drums themselves, you buy an $800 snare drum, not going to lose value. You buy a $200 snare drum, you go try to resell that thing, you might get like $60 for it. So it's like, so to answer so basically as far as like my gear goes, I just slowly got better and better and better gear. I made the dumb mistake in my early 20s of being like, oh, I want to be endorsed. Being endorsed doesn't mean anything. We can talk about that on like a totally different episode. I feel like we should do a deep dive on endorsements. But my whole thing is like, play the gear you want to play, experiment with everything, go try as much stuff as possible. Like you're gonna make some expensive mistakes, and you're just gonna make mistakes in general. But honestly, that's how you learn, man. That's how you figure out what you like, what your sound is. Like there's drum kits that I sold that I wish I never sold, and there's drum kits I bought that I wish I never bought.
Same.
There's hardware and cymbals that I feel the exact same way about, where I'm like, why would I ever buy that? That was so stupid. And then, like I said, there's a couple things I've sold where I'm like, I cannot believe that I sold that. Like I got a Black Beauty when I was like 21 years old or 20 years old. I got it used on like Craigslist for like $275 or something. A couple years later, I was in a tough time, and I was like, I could sell this for I could like make $400, and I just made it's like I need the $400 like to fucking pay rent or whatever it was. And then fast forward today, it's like, why did I sell that Black Beauty? Like everybody needs a Black Beauty, first of all. Second of all, that was a Black Beauty during a very integral part of my career, where it's like the memories would have been so fun to look back and be like, I've played like 100 local shows with this like Black Beauty. Like that to me is everything. Like I have a 14 6.5 collector's brass. Great snare drum, right? I've toured with this thing so much. I took it on Warped Tour. Like I took it to Europe. I think I took it I didn't take it to Australia, but it's like I've just taken this thing everywhere. It's like, even I don't play DW, and who knows if I'll ever even play that drum again, but I am never getting rid of that thing. That's like, that's like just staying with me forever. I bought this Yamaha Oak Custom, which is such a sick kit. And when I got it, it was $950 and came with a double pedal, like a Yamaha double. Now, it was a shitty double pedal, but it came with a double pedal. And
those are like 4K, those kits.
Yeah. Yeah. And I sold it for like $600. It's like, dude, what? It was black. Bro. It was this sick, like, I think it was called like Musashi Black or something like that. Like this,
Wood
I don't know. It was
grain,
just a
black
wood,
finish.
wood grain, slightly glossy black finish that was just so fire. And it's like, why did I get rid of that? That kit is so dope. And also, who has oak drums? Like, oak is such a
Facts.
cool material for drums. It's loud, it's punchy.
Yeah.
So,
What do you play? Let's get more specific. Like, what exactly are you playing? What drum heads and what cymbals and what drums do you play right now?
yeah. So, fast forward to today, I have um, like a full endorsement list, which is pretty tough to do as like a hired gun when you don't have like a big band and management behind you, because like a lot of big bands or management like goes and gets them the endorsements. um it's been a long journey for me, but I play Pearl drums. So on the road I have a Pearl Masters. At home I have a Session Studio Select, which I love those kits, and anybody listening who's interested in getting a new kit, go find a used Session Studio Select. Look
Great
on
drums.
Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or something. Killer drums, and you can get a used kit, a used set like that for like around $1,000, maybe 1,200. You'll have it for the rest of your life, and they're so fire. Like,
Yeah.
I
What is
love
it?
those kits. I think
Mahogany or something? What is it?
it's birch mahogany, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
It's,
great.
it's just a great mix, man. It's punchy. It's just loud enough. It's easy to tune. Like, I have that thing singing in my practice space right now.
And you like the 13-inch tom, right? Instead of
Yeah,
like a
so
1012, you like a 1013?
yeah, this kit in particular, I do have a 10, 12, 13, 16, and 18.
Okay.
I'm kind of building this into my big home. I'm gonna get a 24-inch kick for it eventually, so that I have like I can basically build anything with it.
Every config.
But you know, I do prefer a 13, like a 10, 13, 16. But with Daughtry, I play one up, two down. And I've just been playing one up, two down for a while now. So I haven't really touched the other toms in a while, but I'll do 13, 16, 18.
Nice.
I always play a 14-inch snare. Sometimes the depth is depend. I have so many different snare drums, so I'm constantly like swapping my snare out. Just like, oh, I want to play this one today. I want to play this one today. I want to play this one today.
Sure.
Like, I'm always doing that.
Play the
But
7, play the 8-inch.
play 7, play, yeah, 5. I have everything from like I have the Vinnie Paul, the snakeskin wrapped 8-inch wood snare. I have a, rest in peace to Jeremy, I have a Q Drums 14x7 plate brass, which is honestly potentially my favorite snare drum that I have. It's absolutely perfect. I have an Honest Abe 6.5x14, which is,
Those are cool drums.
oh, dude,
He builds really cool looking. I've never played one, but man, they look so fucking cool.
they're so fun. Dude, you have to get one. I have another one
got
on the
to.
way, a 3mm aluminum that's like I'm so excited about. But and then cymbal or drum heads. Let's do drum heads first. I play all Remo. I've been using the X14 on the snare for quite some time now. I used to use the Controlled Sound. That was my go-to. But I think for me, it was just I was having some problems with the dot, and a lot of people have had problems with the dot, you know, breaking on the inside. And this is not to. I love Remo so much. I love my rep over there so much, and this is not to knock Remo. I just had enough issues with it that it started to be like a problem on tour, where I was like, dude, I can't be blowing out this dot like one song into a brand new head. It's so annoying. So I started to look into other options for snare heads. And I don't like, the older I'm getting, the more I like thinner snare heads, because I want to hear the drum more. I want to hear all the resonances of the drum. So I love an Ambassador, for example, on the snare. It's still probably my favorite snare head, but it's one ply, and you can't.
Wears out
You
quick,
can't-
right?
Yeah, dude, you can't. The way that I play, it won't hold up. And then an Emperor is 2-ply, but it's not quite thick enough. So you kind of deal with the same problem. But they have a head called the X14, which is one 14 mil ply, one
There you
thick ply. And it's strong. It's sensitive enough that you can kind of hear everything, but it's strong enough that it can take an ass beating. And Elon Rubin loves this head. And that's kind of where I got the inspiration. But I've been using X14s. It's awesome. X14s are like the best. They're perfect because they keep the drum open. Like, I like my drums open. So if you like really dry sounds, that's not going to be the head for you. You're going to have to moon gel it and stuff like that. But the way I like my drums, X14 on the snare, I pretty much exclusively play clear Emperors on the tom batters
With
and
no
then
dampening.
no dampening or very little if I have to, but and clear ambassadors on the bottom. But every once in a while I'll do coated Emperors, but I think I just still prefer the sound of clear. So very standard stuff. Clear power stroke 3 on the kick, the most like one of the most popular kick heads of all time. So to recap, coated X14 on the snare, clear Emperors on the toms, clear power stroke 3 on the kick. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then I've been on Zildjian for a while now, and I have a lot of different cymbals, but there's 2 hi-hats that I use that I haven't used anything else in a very long time. The fat hats, 15-inch fat hats, and 15-inch K lights.
Are the fat hats a K or an A?
They're a K. They're badass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
That's their flagship one, right? The K? That's like their...
I guess, I mean, I actually don't even look at the symbols as like K's and A's. I kind of just look at them as like the line. So like for me in my head, it just depends on the gig. Like Daughtry is a rock band. A Customs do the job. A Customs are the best cymbals in the world. Like they're perfect. They feel the best. They sound the best.
They look cool. They're bright.
They look cool as hell. They're just bright enough, but they're not like harsh. Yeah. They feel awesome. A 20-inch A Custom crash, there is not a better crash to like have as your main crash. It just feels like butter, and it's perfect. So
what ride cymbal are you using?
I have a 21-inch. We kind of go back and forth, but a 21-inch K Sweet, or sometimes a 21 A Sweet.
Both great.
Both great. I'm back to 21-inch rides. I did the thing where I played 23s and 24s for a while, but it's just too much.
I can't do it no more.
Yeah,
Same,
big.
bro.
Yeah, too
Same.
big.
21 is the best size ride.
It's the best size ride, yeah. And then a 19-inch K Custom Hybrid China, but sometimes I'll play depending on stock, because Zildjian doesn't always have it in stock. So honestly, dude, an 18-inch A Custom China kicks ass, and they're so durable. They're super durable. I'm not sure why. They're like more durable than any China cymbal for some reason, in my experience at least. So, but Chinas, they all go, all of them. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
they all
It's not
kind of
that
do
deep.
the same thing. Yeah.
I feel you.
And then I do mess around with the paper thins as well. So my 2 favorite crash cymbals, I'll give my 3 favorite crash cymbals of all time: A Customs, paper thins, and the K Dark thins. The K Dark thins, I don't know what it is about them, but something, they record super nicely. But my 2 favorites ever are the paper thins and the A Customs. I could play paper thins and A Customs for eternity, and I'd be happy. And honestly, you could do, if I was playing like an indie rock gig, or like something, or like a pop gig or something softer, whereas like maybe A Customs would be a little too loud and bright, paper thins.
Paper thins.
Paper, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, Vic Firth 5B sticks, standard, nothing crazy. I'm using JH 16V2 inner monitors. Those are not cheap. And rock locks, and that's about it, man. It's pretty straightforward rig. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty. It always looks really nice too, man. That black. What is that? A maple kit that you have out there? That reference, right? It's maple.
Yeah, it's a Masters. Yeah,
Or
Masters.
Masters.
Maple.
There you go.
Yeah. And I have a gong drum on the left. It's a 20 by 14, but we actually just got them cut down. So they're like 4 inches deep now, which is awesome. They're going to be like true UFO, like pancake gongs.
Oh no shit! You guys got them cut down. That's pretty good. Same bass drum head on there too, right? The Power Stroke.
Yep, it's just a Power Stroke 3. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, we've cooked this episode.
Yeah, this was fun. I like that we touched on some gear too. I think a lot of people will be interested, and it's funny because we have like flipped, like you're Zildjian and Remo. I'm Peisty and Evans, so it's also cool. But again, it's not that deep. It's a drum's a drum. A cymbal's a cymbal. It does matter though. When you're professional and you want your sound and you want it to feel the way you want it to feel, it matters. Which is dope that there's so much gear available. So.
And do you have a drum endorsement at the time? At the moment?
No, at the moment I'm not. I've been in talks with Yamaha, and I've been in talks with them. I don't know, but we're just trucking along. I'm just chilling right now.
Damn, they got to endorse you, man. I don't understand how these brands why they even think twice about this stuff. But
Dude, to be honest, the fact that I have the sticks with ProMark and the Evans heads and the symbols of Place, those three right there,
it's huge.
so grateful, bro. They take care of
Yeah.
me so much, man. It's like, it's unbelievable.
It's huge.
So,
That's huge.
yeah.
And yeah, it's huge. All right. Well, hey, thanks everyone for listening. We're going to record a few more episodes this week. Let us know if you have any more questions. Please hit us with any questions you can think of, because we need stuff to talk about. So go to Spotify, leave a 5-star review. This episode will be up today at the end of today. So, obviously you have no idea we're recording it, but yeah, I think that's all for the Good Time podcast. Tune in next time. We got some really cool guests coming up this week.
Yeah,
So,
I'm stoked. We do have some really cool guests, and make sure you subscribe. Like Anthony said, check us out on Spotify. But yeah, it was fun.
Cool. All right. Until next time.
We're
See
out.
you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.